It all started in a 5,000-watt radio station in Fresno, California.
Peter Maruzzi, an only child, was born on Thanksgiving Day, 1961, in Concord, Massachusetts. Decor was early American. The house was ranch-style. Peter's father, Alfred Maruzzi, was born in the Italian immigrant community of Boston's North End. After his service in World War II, Alfred spent his entire career in the Federal Civil Service as an electrical engineer. Peter's father was very influential in his life, instilling a strong ethical core in the young boy with the conviction that we have a responsibility to make the world a better place. Peter's mother, Carol, performed as lead singer for a variety of bands in the late 1940s and early 1950s. While Peter's drive, determination, and joie de vivre emanated from his rather introverted father, his outgoing personality definitely came from his mother. In 1967, Peter's father accepted a civil service job in Japan. Socializing was a big part of life there. Peter's love of travel was sparked by his years in Japan from ages 5 to 8, highlighted by many weekend outings with his dad experiencing the beauty and culture of Japan. In 1970, Alfred accepted a civil service job in Hawaii, moving the family there when Peter was 8 years old. This was their mid-century tract home in Kailua, complete with swimming pool. During Peter's decade in Hawaii, he was inspired by the state's natural beauty and enchanted by its cosmopolitan culture. Peter's interest in architecture paralleled a burgeoning fascination with Hawaii's complex history. His first involvement in preservation occurred at age 13 when a friend's bohemian mother took him to a rally to save the threatened 1922 Hawaii Theater in Honolulu from demolition. That experience ignited a lifelong passion for historic preservation. Peter graduated from high school in 1979, eager to see the world, choosing Northern California for college, and making the Golden State his permanent home. While a student at UC Berkeley, Peter and his friends explored historic neighborhoods using this guidebook. Presaging his career 20 years later as an architectural historian, Peter wrote a page of mock architectural descriptions, including this one: 414 Taylor Street, neo-modern post-Renaissance slant-roof house. Entrance walkway leads dangerously to ferocious barking dog. This house is best viewed from across the street. Note its lack of any interesting detail whatsoever and its utterly plain facade. Around 1985, Peter came across 3 books that were his first in-depth introduction to post-war modern design: Mid-Century Modern, 50s Style, and Googie, 50s Coffee Shop Architecture by Alan Hess. Peter graduated with a degree in economics in 1983 and took an internship in the marketing department of a young tech company in San Jose. Within 2 years, at age 23, he was product manager for the world's best-selling video display terminal, the Wyze 50, a $150 million product line. In 1989, while living in San Francisco, Peter began a series of weekend excursions to Los Angeles to attend modern architectural tours organized by the Los Angeles Conservancy. That year, the Museum of Contemporary Art mounted the enormously influential exhibition Blueprints for Modern Living: History and Legacy of the Case Study Houses. Perhaps its most astonishing element was a full-size recreation of architect Pierre Koenig's 1960 Case Study House number 22, also known as the Stahl House that visitors could actually walk through. In 1990, inspired by the challenging, provocative films of David Lynch and intent on leaving San Francisco for the modernist Mecca of Los Angeles, Peter applied for and was accepted into the producing program of the American Film Institute in Hollywood. While at AFI, Peter read a story in the LA Weekly about an ardent modern preservation advocate who operated a business called Googie Tours. His name was John English, and he was a member of what was then called the 50s Task Force of the Los Angeles Conservancy. Peter immediately joined the task force, which consisted of about a dozen committed and passionate members. Soon, Peter became the new chairman of the rechristened Modern Committee. In the early 1990s, the most endangered buildings were untraditional types such as restaurants, small office buildings, car washes, bowling alleys, and other commercial properties. Also threatened were modern residential buildings, both grand and modest. Back then, a key challenge was persuading decision-makers, the media, traditional preservationists, and the general public of the importance of preserving modern architecture. It took many years of direct action to change these attitudes, attending Planning Commission, Landmarks Commission, and City Council meetings, holding protest rallies to garner media attention, writing articles and newsletters, and educating the public and media through lectures and architectural tours. Peter took a leadership role in the first of a series of major preservation battles in the 1990s. The first was the effort to save the oldest remaining Bob's Big Boy coffee shop in America from demolition for a high-rise office building. Constructed in 1949 and located in Burbank, it is a superb early example of the emerging California coffee shop modern style, set to explode in Southern California after World War II. The building's architect, the then 85-year-old Wayne McAllister, joined the Bob's preservation effort. Peter wrote a state landmark nomination for the restaurant that was approved in 1993, despite strong opposition by the property owner and Burbank's mayor. Soon after, the owner dropped his demolition plans and instead celebrated Bob's history by restoring the restaurant and instituting Friday night classic car shows that continue to pack the parking lot every week. Beginning in 1994, Peter was a leader in the monumental multi-year campaign to save the 1953 Downey McDonald's, the company's oldest remaining location, from demolition by McDonald's Corporation itself. The modern committee's most effective action was a rally and McFuneral in front of the restaurant. With television cameras rolling, Ronald McDonald, John English, dramatically stabbed McDonald's original mascot, Speedy, Chris Nichols, in the back, with Speedy's coffin held conveniently nearby. Their theatrics garnered enormous publicity, including the front page of the Sunday New York Times. McDonald's quickly had a change of heart, announcing the restoration and reopening of the restaurant to great acclaim. From this experience, Peter learned that strategically planned publicity could have a huge impact in achieving preservation success. While chair of the Conservancy's Modern Committee from 1992 to 1997, Peter grew the committee from 15 to over 100 active members. With that many members, ModCom was simultaneously able to tackle numerous preservation issues. Over the next 20-plus years, they succeeded in preserving the coffee shop portion of Holiday Bowl in LA's Crenshaw district, the Witch Stand in Windsor Park, Norm's La Cienega, Vanda Camps, now Denny's in Arcadia, and the Cinerama Dome. Among painful losses were the ship's coffee shops on La Cienega and in Culver City. LA ModCom's education mission consisted of architectural exhibitions, lecture series, multiple home tours, and self-driving commercial architecture tours for thousands of participants. For their 1994 tour Cruising Post-War LA, Peter took an LA Times writer on a preview tour who wrote, "Touring Los Angeles with Pete Maruzzi is like traveling with a fervid believer on a pilgrimage through a holy land. In this case, the religion is Southern California architecture in the 20 years after World War II, and the shrines include the Capitol Tower, the Cinerama Dome, the Palmdale House Apartments, and Ship's Coffee Shop." In 1997, beloved television personality Huell Hauser devoted an entire episode of California's Gold to ModCom's tour Cruising Industrial LA. Peter was also responsible for writing and coordinating the National Register of Historic Places nomination for the seminal Case Study House program. He also served on the LA Conservancy's Board of Directors from 1995 to 2001. Peter's introduction to Palm Springs architecture started in 1995 when several members of LA ModCom organized tours to Palm Springs to showcase the city's wealth of modern architectural resources. Around the same time, the Palm Springs Historic Site Preservation Board nominated 9 buildings by local architect Albert Frey for designation as Class 1 historic sites. One of these buildings was the 1965 Tramway gas station, which sparked immediate opposition by local developer Mark Bragg, who had announced his planned Shadow Rock Resort, a $200 million 348-acre project, including an 18-hole golf course, clubhouse, hotel, condominiums, and bungalows covering much of Chino Canyon, including the Tramway gas station. Surprisingly, the council voted to designate the building as a local landmark. Unfortunately, following 9 weeks of contentious backlash from Palm Springs' real estate and business community and some members of the public, the City Council reversed its decision and rescinded the Class 1 designation. Then, just 1 year later, the developer abandoned his Shadow Rock plans and sold the gas station to new owners who restored and adaptively reused the building as a sculpture gallery. On January 6, 1999, with strong support from its new owners, all 5 council members were thrilled to redesignate the former Tramway gas station as a Class 1 historic site. In 2002, the city acquired the property as its new visitor center. Peter became a professional architectural historian, working for a number of environmental consulting firms. Then, working on his own, Peter operated Maruzzi Historic Resources Consulting before semi-retiring in 2016 at age 55. Since the early 1980s, Peter has been a passionate collector of paper ephemera, postcards, photographs, menus, matchbooks, and brochures. These collections have formed the basis for all 6 of the pictorial history books he's written since 2007, including 2 about Palm Springs and the Coachella Valley. In 1999, the city of Palm Springs announced its intention to demolish Albert Frey's 1955 Fire Station No. 1 for a new parking structure. This was an outrage that had to be stopped. Peter met with friend Courtney Newman to discuss the creation of a Palm Springs version of LA's modern committee to fight the city's demolition plan. They convened the first PS ModCom meeting at Courtney's store and quickly attracted a core group of passionate preservationists to the cause. At a well-attended city council meeting, ModCom and other members of the community convinced the council members to abandon the city's demolition plan. Not long after, the council designated the fire station as a Class 1 historic site. Less than a year later, PS ModCom challenged a developer's plan to demolish the architecturally significant Alpha Beta/Ralph's Shopping Center designed by Albert Frey and Robson Chambers in 1962. We lost that fight in 2001 because we didn't have the resources to hire a land use attorney. That experience led ModCom to incorporate as a 501c3 nonprofit organization to raise funds for retaining attorney Amy Mintier for future preservation battles. The sudden demolition of Richard Neutra's Maslon House in Rancho Mirage in 2002 was a tragedy that had to be exposed to the world to keep such a crime from happening again. David Glom's powerful before and after shots and Brad Dunning's impassioned feature in the New York Times Magazine was a major embarrassment to the city of Rancho Mirage. It is to the city's credit that they immediately passed a strong historic preservation ordinance and hired a team of architectural historians to conduct a comprehensive survey of Rancho Mirage to identify and document their many historic resources. Peter was the lead investigator on that team. In March 2017, while Peter was having lunch at Dickey's Barbecue Pit, he got a call that contractors were at Palm Springs Building and Safety Counter applying for a demolition permit for Tahquitz Plaza. He immediately called ModCom's attorney while racing to City Hall. There, he loudly confronted the Director of Building and Safety, demanding that the permit issuance be halted. Meanwhile, ModCom's attorney, Amy Mintier, called the city attorney and stated that no such permit could be issued pending our appeal. Her last-minute intervention blocked the imminent issuance of a demo permit for the buildings. Peter followed that reprieve with months of behind-the-scenes communication with the property owner-developer that led to their decision to restore the property. It is now a Class 1 historic site, renamed Captor Plaza. Since 2002, ModCom's executive director, Nikki McLaughlin, has managed the organization with skill, enthusiasm, and passionate commitment to our mission. On behalf of PS Modcom and other Coachella Valley organizations, Maruzzi authored the successful National Register of Historic Places nominations of the architecture of Albert Frey, E. Stewart Williams, and Donald Wexler, including the Steelhouse Historic District. One of Peter's proudest achievements was writing the National Register nomination of the historic 1941 El Cortez Hotel Casino on Fremont Street in Las Vegas. Peter spoke at the plaque ceremony attended by Las Vegas's mayor, Carolyn Goodman. It is the only hotel casino in the U.S. listed in the National Register. Peter received the American Institute of Architects Presidential Citation for Public Service in 2002 for his efforts at preserving modernist architecture in California. The California Preservation Foundation's President's Award in 2012 and the UCLA Architecture and Urban Design Award in 2016. He previously served on the Palm Springs Planning Commission and currently is a member of the city's Historic Site Preservation Board. Most recently, Peter spearheaded the effort to permanently light the Palm Springs Visitor Center at night. On February 16, 2023, in coordination with the city's Facilities Department and with funding by Measure J and PS Modcom, a lighting ceremony was held with Mayor Gardner officiating. Among his many achievements, Peter hopes that his work in growing both the Palm Springs Modern Committee and Los Angeles Conservancy's Modern Committee into effective advocates for mid-century modern architecture will have a lasting impact.